Hello dear ones. So today I'll be sharing Sutra 3 from Samadhipada. Tada drashtu swarupe vasthanam. So tada means then, drashta means the seer, swarupe avasthanam. The nature of the seer gets established. So what does then means here? So if you remember in the first sutra we said now. So it is interlinked with the first sutra. So now when I start the discipline of yoga, then the seer gets established. The seer, what is the seer? It means the self. The self gets united and all the loose ends get united and tied. So what was happening before when the discipline was not being followed? The mind was wavering. The mind was going in the past, then coming in the future. It was just, swaying like a pendulum, and it was not in the present moment. There was, it was not fully aware. It was wavering. It was feeling angry, frustrated, or anger, or pain, or suffering, or frustration, or anxiety. So many negative emotions and feelings were arising in the mind, and there are so many different vrittis that were happening in the mind. And I will, in the next sutra, I will be telling you and sharing with you what these different modulations are. So the mind was wavering and chattering, and because of which uh, you know there was this willingness, and that decision came that now I will impose. So this sutra is linked with the first one, that now when I impose the discipline of yoga on me, then the chitta will get established in the seer. And who is the seer here? The seer is not this body and mind complex because it has the eyes so it can see, so it's the seer. No, it's not that. It's the self that is within, the one that is observing. So we are seeing from our eyes, and we are perceiving this outer world from the sense objects around us through the five senses, and then the mind perceives it. But behind that there is an observer, isn't it? If you see, you have been growing, right? We feel that we are not changing, but our bodies have been changing, or our beliefs have changed over the period of time. We had certain beliefs when we were kids, and then we had certain beliefs while we were teenage, in our in our teens, and then we had different beliefs when we were not married, and then we changed our beliefs when we became married. So as I'm speaking, are you observing that someone, as you are hearing, something within you is observing what I'm saying, isn't it? So that is the seer which is within and is observing, but not part of it. It is just observing. It's not changing. It's observing all the changes, but it is not changing. So when the modulations and these tendencies of the mind, they calm down through the discipline of yoga, then the chitta gets established in the self. And what is chitta? So we will use this word again and again, and chitta means the consciousness. And then there are these subtle layers in the consciousness which comprise of the mind, the intellect, the memory, the ego, and then the highest is the self. So what is happening in the mind? The mind is wavering. Where is it wavering? It's either wavering in the past or in the future. When it's in the past, either it's angry, frustrated. When it's in the future, it is like it has fear or anxiety, or any phobias. And also from the experience of the past, the mind starts projecting things in the future. And what's happening in the intellect is busy saying right wrong, isn't it? So when I'm speaking to you, when you're listening to this knowledge, isn't that in the back of the mind it's saying yes, right, wrong? You are filtering somewhere, right? And you're taking some of the knowledge inside, some of the beliefs, some of the things that I'm saying, and if you are not aligned with them, or in certain ways, if you do not understand them, or you think it's wrong or right, so that's also happening in the intellect, right? And then there is memory, so memory from the past. So that is another uh, you know uh, part of chitta or the consciousness. And more subtler is ego. So ego is not something, ego means ahankara, but it doesn't mean that you have to be like very strong, and you have to show that in a very bold manner. It can also be some of the things that have happened to you, and you have formed strong beliefs about it. Like maybe you feel that you're not good enough, or you feel that you are superior to everybody, or it's not limited to ahankara, which is I am the best, but it is also everything else, like all the things that have happened to you and have made you believe about your self image in a certain way, or about others, right? But to believe something about others means that you believe something about yourself, so all that comprises of ego. So it's just not limited to ahankara, or the ego, like I am the best, but it is also about all the beliefs. So all the beliefs that we start thinking that I am this, I am that, when whatever you put in front of the I am forms your ego. So be very, very careful what you say I am, and then whatever words you are putting in front of I am. So we can also understand it in this way, that when we say, or when you say I am angry, so I am is complete in itself. When I am is complete in itself, it's the existence. You exist, I exist, I am. We are complete existence, whole existence in ourselves. And whenever we say I am something, in front of that, when we say I am angry, then the consciousness starts believing that it's angry, that like you as a person are an angry person. Instead, start substituting it with I feel angry. I am feeling angry, but the best is saying that I feel angry. So you know that these are your feelings and that it is not you. So identifying with the beliefs, or with your experiences, with your emotions, with your feelings, also form some part of your ego. So I hope I am like clear enough, that whenever we identify, with the outer reality, something happened, somebody said something to you, that maybe someone said you are dumb, and then you start fixating your mind on that, then you start feeling on that, and whatever you feel, you start identifying on that. So that starts forming a part of your ego, which is subtler than the feelings and emotions, and that starts building your your personality and character. So you remember, you understand that all these things are comprised of chitta. And when we follow the discipline of yoga, then the self unites, and all the loose ends are tied, and all of them are united, and then the seer gets established, and then you are able to see your true nature. So how will you be able to see your true nature? When like there is ocean and there are waves in it, but when you go deep down, the water is really calm and serene, right? But when we are up on the surface, there are so many waves in the ocean. That's how our mind is. So when the discipline of yoga is followed, then the mind settles down, then the mind becomes calm, all the tendencies and the nature and the modulations of the mind settle down, so that the self is established. So that's the meaning of the third sutra. If you're liking these videos, and if you want to learn more, then definitely like this video and subscribe my channel, and share it with many others, so they can also come to this knowledge. See you in the next video. Namaste.